This is Breaking Patterns with Skye and Beth. We are on a quest to explore how our old ways of thinking and responding to the world keep us stuck.
If you are ready to get curious about what holds you back, pop open a generic seltzer water and let's get real. Hey, Skye, what are you drinking?
Hey, Beth, I'm drinking this Topo Chico that you gave me.
Oh, raspberry with limon. Cheers.
Welcome back to Breaking Patterns with Skye.
And Beth.
We are absolutely not drunk.
It's a rough Thursday. We totally are not.
We are not.
These are soda waters, and I'm on my lunch break, so we got to hurry.
So we're going to try another card pull again from Beth's grandmother's box, which we just think is beautiful.
And there's two marbles like rolling around in there. And these are these little cards with the phrase or saying or a word. Woo!
Okay, what word we got?
Grace.
Oh, dang. Give ourselves grace.
And other people grace. Because when we don't give other people grace, it's probably, in my experience, I'm not giving myself any grace either.
Oh, yeah. It's so much easier to turn like outwardly on others than it is to stop for a minute and deal with whatever is going on inside internally.
What is grace? What is grace to you?
You know, I had a problem with that word for a long time because of its sort of religious connotation. I use it fairly frequently now, giving myself grace. It's like, it's the self-compassion. It's the, hey, you're just a humaning in this life. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have big emotions. It's okay to not know what to do. Like grace, I guess, is it's okay. It's okay. This is just how life is.
Yeah, we're messy humans. Grace is beautiful and hard to remember sometimes because we all expect, I don't know, no, I can't speak for anyone other than myself. We just expect people to behave certain ways and we make assumptions that really cut us right out of grace.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great commercial. I don't know who did it. It's like this lady that can't afford this nice car is driving this nice car. Okay, she goes to the grocery store in the nice car. She pays with food stamps and somebody sees her in the parking lot and then Judgy. Well, her car broke down and someone lent her a car, right? Like we assume we know everything that happened, right? Until that point, because our brain likes to organize things in ways that we can quickly process scenarios. So we see something and instead of like questioning, we just feel like I know the whole backstory. And so now I'm going to make a judgment.
Yeah. So grace is like the opposite of assumptions.
It's curiosity.
Yeah. Remember when we did the assumptions episode?
I did. Makes an ass out of me. Wait,
you and me.
And me. Spelling. Yeah, assumptions.
Yeah. So like grace with other people is stepping away from the space of judgment. And grace with yourself, I feel like that's less about assumptions and more about that sort of self-criticism, like perfectionism.
That loving little critic that is right there on my shoulder. I'm petting it right now. That's always like telling me how I'm not good enough. I'm not wanted. My voice doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All lies.
You know, the shame. I feel like sometimes I need to give myself grace when I slip into a place of judging other people or bitterness or resentment. I guess all those negative, scratchy, yucky things that because we're human, we do, even when we're trying to constantly be working on ourselves. You know, I feel like both of us, right? We're trying to be better humans. And so there's a lot of those shoulds of like, well, I shouldn't be feeling resentful or bitter or judgy against others. And, you know, and it's like, well, I say that and it's like, yeah, that's true, right? I shouldn't be, but I am sometimes because
we're messy humans.
Right. Because I'm just a human. And sometimes those things are the first emotions to surface. And what I do is I try to work on it. So when I notice myself in those spaces, what I try to do is recognize it, awareness, and then, you know, pause and step back and do the Byron Katieing around those kinds of thoughts that are going through my head that are causing those feelings.
Right. For folks, can you refresh memory about Byron Katie?
Byron Katie is one of my favorite teachers. And she does the 4 questions. So when you have a thought that's causing some sort of negative or an emotion that's bringing you struggle, right? An emotion that's bringing you struggle, then you do these questions on it. You say, is this really true? Can I be 100% certain that what I'm thinking is really true? And believing that makes me feel and makes me act in what way? And is that causing me stress, or is it making my life harder? And so then what would happen if I were to take that belief or take that thought completely away? What would that open up for me? And then you end it with the turnaround.
The turnaround, yeah. So it's great. And it's this lovely reminder for me, anyway. I was highly driven by emotions most of my life. And there are moments when you feel it in your body. Think of how you feel when you're having a reaction to something. And it always sticks with me. Emotions are not fact. It's a fact that you're having them.
Right.
But they can be triggered by these thoughts that aren't necessarily true. So it's just really being willing to take a magnifying glass to some of your beliefs. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And that, we talk about breaking patterns, right? And so sometimes the things that those negative emotions, resentment and bitterness and stuff, they're just an old pattern. And we can be evolving past them and growing past them. And yet that doesn't mean that they're not going to still continue to pop up. I feel like I'm talking about resentment and bitterness a lot because they're kind of on my mind.
So how do you get into grace?
Well, let me just back up and tell you what's going on for me. So I am about to leave for the weekend. I have a retreat. By the time this airs, the retreat will be over. But right now I'm in this space where I'm getting ready to leave. And my husband, hey, Jarrett, it's going to be
Jarrett. We
solo
love you.
parenting. He's going to solo parent for the weekend. And my kids have all this stuff going on. And so for the past few days, have been in this place where I'm preparing to go away. So I'm getting myself ready. But I also feel like I have to get everybody else ready. Like I have to micromanage what's going to happen. How is my son going to get to his basketball thing? What's my daughter going to do? Is my husband going to communicate with my parents to do this trade? Like I have to think about all these things. Well, and I know that's not true, right? I know that it's not true because they can take care of themselves. But when I get in that place where I'm feeling obligated to micromanage what's going to happen in my house when I'm not there, then it creates all these feelings of resentment. Like I'm resenting my husband and my kids. And because I have to do all these things for them.
Get off the cross. We need the wood.
Right?
That's good.
So I've been working on this for the past few days.
Yeah.
I've been working on this. And I
resent yourself for daring to have a retreat and be gone.
I used to. Yeah. I really used to.
Funny, we do yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, so I've been journaling about it because I have found that when I get in these places where, I'm stuck, if I start writing, a lot of times the answers come out. Because the beauty of being a human is we know the answers. Like our conscious might not know, but our subconscious knows. So if we find a way, whether it's journaling or meditating or moving or whatever, the answers will sometimes come out. So I've been journaling. The answers started coming out and I was like, holy shit, look at me carrying all this resentment grudges for something that I don't even really need to be doing. And so I gave myself some grace.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still learning how to relinquish that micromanaging control over my family and all the people that I love. Still learning. So it's okay that I do it once in a while.
And it's detaching from things will get done. Jared's a grown-ass man who can handle a lot of things.
Yeah. The kids won't starve.
They're not going to starve.
They may eat a lot of
They won't
processed.
starve in 2 days. And it's grace for everyone else too, right? It's really good. And we bring it on ourselves a lot because I remember I was spending my evenings just like a planet in orbit. And the other people in my life were the sun that I was orbiting around. And I would wait. How do they need me? Do I need to drive somebody somewhere? Do I need to make somebody food? What do I need to do? And I was just putting myself on call.
Yeah. And because they hadn't even asked you that to do
it.
it.
Them. Well, they never even, they're fine. They're two highly independent people that don't need me.
Right.
That's for sure. And then I make this defiant statement, I am meditating every Monday night. That is my time and I won't be available. I wasn't that dramatic, but I look at it and I laugh and they were like, yeah, it sounds great.
Right. Like, what did you expect? Did you expect them to be like, oh, no, you can't leave for an hour on Monday?
I can't live without you. There was nothing that they were doing that was making me do this weird, resentful dance. But it just goes back to there's a saying in some circles, acceptance is the answer to all my problems today. When I find some person, place, or thing unacceptable, it is because I am not checking my own expectations. It's great stuff.
Yeah. And I've done the same thing too with that, like my evenings or the mornings. We have a big whiteboard in our kitchen. And after one particularly resentful morning where I had gotten up and like made breakfast for the other 3 humans in my house, I'd fried eggs, I'd like get some ham and cut up strawberries. And like I made this breakfast and nobody was downstairs in time to eat it. Or Jarrett, he doesn't really eat breakfast. So he's just like, well, I'm not hungry. I'm just going to take a banana. And my kids just left their freaking breakfast sitting there. And I was so pissed because I was still in my pajamas, hadn't brushed my teeth, gotten myself ready, as I spent all this time caring for these other people who had not asked me to make them breakfast.
Okay, one step further. Were you seeking validation from that beautiful breakfast spread?
I'm sure I wanted someone to eat it. At the very least, I wanted them to like ingest the food so that they wouldn't go to, because I was taking on responsibility for my kids. I don't want them to go to school and be hungry by 9 a.m. So I was like doing all this stuff for them.
It goes into the saving everybody from the consequences.
Exactly.
Because if you make sure they're not hungry, then they never have a consequence. Like, what if they didn't eat and they go to school and they're hungry and rageful? Then they maybe connect it. I need to eat.
Yeah. Well, and because the issue was they weren't ready in time to come down for breakfast. And so I sat there afterwards and I was so like pissed. And I got the big whiteboard out and my dry erase markers. And I was like, oh, but what came from it was realizing that I needed to create a boundary for myself. And, they're my kids. They're 10 and 12. I can help them get breakfast if they need to. So I created this boundary, and it was, I will help you with breakfast if you're downstairs by 7:15. After that, you're on your own.
After that, the kitchen is closed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're on your own. Like, you want to grab some little bites, make a Pop-Tart. I don't care, whatever the hell you want to do. Eat a cheese stick, be hungry. After that, it's on you.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was my way of giving myself some grace and realizing that I can be a responsible parent who offers to feed my children in the morning, because God forbid somebody at their school think that their parents aren't feeding them. I don't know, right? Worried about other people's judgment. So I can be the responsible parent, but I can also set a really clear boundary and expectation that then puts them firmly in the driver's seat of whether or not they have breakfast.
Right. People love agency. People love to feel like they have choice. This reminded me of 2 things that I always forget. What were they?
I don't know. They must not have been that great.
They were actually really great.
They'll come back to you.
Oh, yes. 2 things. The first was because I get in this like critical space, and it's when I'm not working on my own serenity. I get in the judge space, right? And I scan the environment for all the reasons I need to be pissed off and all the problems I need to solve.
Oh, wait, I like this imagery because it's like the robot scanning where you're like looking for error.
That's
error.
That's effed up. They did that wrong. When I'm not in a good space and I'm looking outward, a couple things. What were they? Hold on. I should go to the doctor about this. Menopause, brain fog. So I was in a really weird space with that. And so I was like trying to find tools. And I love mantras and I love sayings.
Yes, you do.
Love them. I ran across someone who suggested that a lot of times when we spot something in someone else, it hits us because it resonates with us in some way, maybe subconsciously, consciously. There's a whole thing, you spot it, you got it.
Yeah.
And so this lady suggested that when you have this thought in your head, like, I cannot believe he's behaving that way. Like me. I cannot believe she is wearing that. Like me. Right? Like, who am I to do that? And so that helps recognize and maybe open a pathway for me to have some grace in a moment when I'm in this judgment. There was a whole thing not long ago, and somebody was trying to figure out if this conversation that people were having was about me. And we were like, they were saying some not nice things. And And I just went back to what other people say about me or think about me are absolutely zero of my business. None of my business what people say and think about me. And I don't have to rush to defend. People can make assumptions and have thoughts. And if they never want to check in with me, that's on them.
Because, you know, the converse is true of what you said the first time, that if people are over here having judgy thoughts about you, they are spotting it and gotting it about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, that's how we all are.
Right.
You know,
There's the grace.
there's the grace. We are all like that. And I'm working really hard on the pattern to catch myself when I want to jump over in someone else's stuff and make assumptions and judgments based on the very little that I see and bring it back to me and say, if, you know, when I'm doing this environment scan like that, it's because I'm not serene.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I have grace with myself and get serene? Do I need to play the piano? Do I need to walk in the grass? Do I need to take a walk? I need to complete my stress cycle. I need to
Yeah.
pet my cat. I need to hug a human. For how long? 20 seconds.
Mhm. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say that is that criticism is a sign that you are in a heightened stress response. It's fight, flight, and freeze. Because I have that one too.
Mhm.
I believe I inherited it from my mother.
Heather, are you watching? I don't think
Does-
she's. Is she watching? I don't know. Hi, Heather.
If you're watching, say hi.
We love you.
But yeah, that criticism where I would find myself after doing like a workshop, some kind of public speaking thing, where I would be sitting in my car by myself, no one around me, not talking to anyone. And I'd start thinking critical thoughts about mostly Jarrett, my husband, just like pulling things out of the ether that were wrong with him or that he had done wrong. And he like wasn't even there.
I know. We pick a target and then we want to build our case against it. And it's like,
Yeah.
what good is that? Oh, the other thing I remember, life is not a problem to be solved.
Oh, you said that when I walked in today.
Yeah, I forget how. Because we were reminding each other to lighten up. I was reminding you to lighten up.
Because we were being passive aggressive
Yeah.
to each other.
I try not to be, but I did.
Maybe that's why we got the grace card. Is so we need to have
Oh,
grace for each other and ourselves for being passive aggressive.
yeah. But when we have more grace for each other, we have more grace for everyone.
Yeah. Ooh, cheers.
Cheers.
Mm.
We tied that up. Anything else we want to say about that? Grace is a good one. How can we all show ourselves a little more grace? We expect so much of ourselves and we expect a lot of everybody else.
I want to say that studies show, although I'm not entirely sure that that's true, but studies show that when people go into retreat-like spaces,
We don't know if this has been corroborated.
I'm sure there's studies.
There have to be.
probably studies. If
Well,
not,
it's connection. It's all about connection. It's a space of connection in nature. And we know that that reduces stress.
well, and it also, I know that when we had all those women together, all of these women coming from different backgrounds, different life experiences, different reasons to be there. And yet, by the end of that weekend, we have given each other all of the graces. All that judgment of self and each other is like dropping away. And we really find this space of connection. I want to choose a different word than grace because I think in that space, it's like
We let somebody off the hook.
yeah. We realize how we are all so much more similar than we are different.
I think another way we can exercise grace is really simple and we do it all the time. Someone will ask us to do something or ask us to do something. And instead of just saying, "Oh, thank you, but I can't," we then vomit all over someone about all the reasons we can't. And so as the person that's asking someone to do something, I want to challenge us all. If someone comes back to us and says, "No, I've got," can we say, "You know what? It's okay." No is a complete sentence. You do not have to defend your no. I love you. Like, can we help each other stand in their no and not make someone defend all the reasons they made that choice?
Ooh, yes, we can. And
That's grace in action.
This is totally triggering my primal question, which I think maybe should be our topic for the next one of
Are you wanted?
am I wanted?
Yeah.
And how we
Oh, yes.
handle
I say no to you. I don't give you a
The-
laundry list.
the
Do you
rejection.
want a laundry list when I say no to you?
No, I
Because
don't.
I'm not giving you.
No.
Yeah, that's so good.
I just want you to like assure me that no, I'm not doing this thing, but yes, I still want you
But
and
yes,
love you.
I still
as-
love you.
Yeah.
No, I have a conflict. Like,
But that's a topic for that is
Topic for a
that is a rabbit hole.
am I wanted? And mine is, am I loved?
Oh yeah.
Good podcast.
Yeah.
So the retreat, do you want to feel loved and wanted?
The Reawaken Retreat is July 24th through the 27th
Mhm.
at Oakwood Retreat Center, and you can get tickets on wellbeingworkshops.co. We will put the link to tickets in the show notes, description. It'll be that link that you see down there.
Yeah. Excellent. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you have topics to keep us from like pulling these cards, if you have topics you want to explore, message us or comment.
See you next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.